Hey everyone, time to cook again. So today I am making a chicken egg vegetable fried rice that my husband absolutely loves. I have prepared everything to show you and I'm just going to get started. Very quickly I want to tell you that this is one chopped onion. Here I have about 200 grams of chopped chicken breast fillet pieces and I'm going to marinate that in a bit. I have one tomato, I have two spring onions. There's like a cup of chopped cabbage. There is half is green capsicum. There's a quarter yellow bell pepper. There's 2 tablespoons of garlic, 1 tablespoon of ginger. I have some green chilies and here is 1 chopped carrot. So the first thing you need to do is marinate the chicken. So as I told you earlier, that's 200 grams of chopped chicken pieces, approximately that big. And I've added 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. There's 1 tablespoon of soya sauce. There's 1 teaspoon of vinegar. And there's a pinch of white pepper. And of course we need 2 cups uncooked rice for this dish. So what I've done is I've boiled short fat grain rice and I've set it aside. Normally I like to use stale rice because I prefer that in this dish. You can use jasmine rice, glutinous rice, Thai rice, basmati rice, whatever you like. But keep in mind I've used 2 cups of uncooked rice and once it's cooked it looks like that. And in a medium-sized wok, I've added 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil and here I have 1 onion chopped. I'm going to saute that. I've added about 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, that's optional. Here is the garlic and a little bit of the ginger. I'm not going to be using too much ginger in this. I want it to be more garlicky. I like my fried rice to be a little chilly hot, so to increase the level of heat, I'm adding half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. I'm going to saute this really well and then next goes in the chicken. Remember to stir fry this chicken on high heat. You don't want to cook it too much, just about 3 or 4 minutes. And after the chicken is stir fried on high heat and you notice that the chicken is no longer pink in color, I want you to turn down the heat and I want you to add 1 chicken cube and then I want you to cover and cook this for 2 to 3 minutes. The reason I'm doing this is because I want the chicken to release a little bit of liquid and water, and when I stir fry and add in the vegetables and the rice, I want that to soak in the chicken juice and the chicken stock so the fried rice is even more yummy. I want you to see that this is the amount of liquid that is required to proceed to the next step. So the next step would be adding carrots because carrots take the longest to cook, and alongside that I'm going to add these green chilies. That's just about 1 tablespoon of cut up green chilies. Now green chilies are optional. I just happen to like the flavor, the smell and taste of green chilies. Raise up the heat and stir fry this on medium to high heat. After stir frying that for 1 minute, you can add the cabbage, the capsicum and the yellow bell pepper. At this point I've seasoned it with black pepper. Since I have only one hand, I can't show you everything I do, so I'm just going to let you know what I've done. The next step is optional, guys, tomatoes. Now tomatoes are used by the Thai version of fried rice. You may omit it. I love to add tomatoes because it reminds me of Bangkok street food. And the next step is adding the eggs. So I have 2 eggs here. I've poured in 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, half a teaspoon of vinegar, and this black crackled pepper. I'm going to give this a good mix. Push the vegetables and chicken to a side, lower the temperature of the fire, add in the eggs, and let it cook a little before you start moving it. Now mix everything together. Next up is oyster sauce. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons. That's 1. That's 2. And I have some light soya sauce. Let's start with 2 tablespoons. You can use dark soya sauce too, but remember it becomes a little salty. And I have some vinegar. I use rice vinegar. You can use any vinegar. That's about 1 teaspoon. Mix that well. And now it's time to add the rice. Last thing I'm going to add is a little bit of fish sauce, which is totally optional. It gives it a little bit of a salty taste and it doesn't smell the way you think it smells, so it's a good option. And I added about 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. Next up is spring onions. This is optional too, guys. I'm also going to be adding some chopped coriander and basil leaves. This is ready. I hope you liked today's video and I hope you keep following me on Ifnatcancook on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. And next up is a chicken stir fry with vegetables. I've used about 300 grams of boneless chicken that I've cubed. I've cracked open an egg right there, half a teaspoon of white pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of red chili flakes. There's 1 teaspoon of corn flour, 1 teaspoon of water, 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of oil. Give it a good mix, and in the meantime put up a wok with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil on a low to medium fire. Let that heat up and then we're going to fry these chicken cubes in it. And while the oil heats, I wanted to show you that I have 1 chopped up onion, I have 1 cup of chopped up cabbage, I have 1 chopped up capsicum, a quarter chopped up yellow pepper, that's 1 tomato chopped up. Here I have about 1 tablespoon each of chopped up ginger and garlic, 2 to 3 green chilies sliced. There's a handful of coriander and that's spring onions for garnishing. Fry a few pieces at a time. Do not crowd the wok. We're going to do this in 2 batches. Just cook it till it loses its pink color. Remember, we have to keep the chicken soft. The purpose isn't to make it crispy today, it's just to soften it up. Take it out in a clean plate, rather on a clean plate. This is what it should look like, and I'm really enjoying the egg pieces in this. So we need to add a little bit of oil back into that to fry the remaining batch. Heat that up. So the chicken was done in under 3 or 4 minutes. I just want you to know that adding the sugar has made it so delicious. You may not want to add a full teaspoon if you don't like it a little sweet. So you can cut that down, but I really like it. It's very soft and the egg in it is tasting really good. So what I've done is I've washed that pan, and now I'm going to add a little bit of sesame oil mixed with vegetable oil, and we're going to stir fry some ginger and garlic. And alongside the ginger and garlic, I've added the sliced green chilies. Now you may want to de-seed these green chilies, because if you don't, then it might be a little hot for you. Saute this well. That is smelling really, really good. And before it burns, I'm going to add the rest of the vegetables that I mentioned earlier. So there's tomatoes, onions, cabbages, green capsicum, yellow bell pepper, and if you have carrots or whatever you might want to use, go for it. And look at those tomatoes. I've seasoned that with crackled black pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to be adding some chili paste, 1 teaspoon, and I'm going to be adding hoisin sauce, 2 teaspoons. Now it's time to add the chicken back into the mix, stir fry it really well. Alongside that you can add some spring onions, leave some for garnishing later, some coriander, basil leaves. I'm going to just add a little bit of fish sauce, oyster sauce, vinegar and soya sauce, and I'll tell you the exact amounts. And since I couldn't show you, I'm just going to tell you that I added 1 teaspoon each of vinegar and fish sauce, 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Keep in mind that you are the master of your own sauces. You can add or subtract anything you like whenever you like. If you don't have hoisin sauce, forget about it. If you don't have chili sauce or chili paste, forget about it. Do whatever you think will make you happy with the end result. And the purpose of teaching you this is to just show you how to cook something with whatever ingredients you have at home. This isn't gourmet cooking, guys. This is very simple Ifnatcancook type food. At this point I want you to lower the flame and I want you to cover this and cook it on low heat. I want the chicken to infuse with the sauces. And this is ready. I have garnished it with spring onions, coriander, basil, and you may add a squeeze of lime. I hope you guys make this. This goes really well with the fried rice I just made today.